I started streaming on accident. Oh, well, welcome to Out of the Draft
Lord.
podcast. Sorry,
Welcome.
uh,
We've
episode
been live this whole
13.
time.
No, I
Yeah.
literally it just started. It's on 19 seconds. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Anyways, how y'all doing tonight? Or well, how's the week been?
Good.
Crazy. Yeah, doing good
Crazy.
though.
Hey, I'm still alive, so.
Hey, that's good. Yeah, my life has been crazy at work.
Yeah.
All I've been doing is working the last like 2 weeks. So I got one more week of that, and then we should be good over at the job. But
I wish. I'm just barely starting to dip my toes into the busy season.
Yeah.
And we got a lot busier to get.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's the business.
we missed last week. It was Darlington last week. I want to go over that a little bit just because of the Ross and
Yeah.
and Larson incident. I just really want to critique Ross Chastain for a second. He's been in the headlines. Rick Hendricks already called him. We all know this. They had a chat. Apparently Ross said, he gave him a lot of advice. He wasn't mad at him. He just said, you got a lot of talent and people love you, but you got to realize that there's a time and a place to push your vehicle, and if you wreck yourself, that's when you're not winning championships.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what Rick was saying. That's from Kelly. I forget. I don't know her last name, but that's like what was said from her Twitter. What Ross did was stupid. I mean, I get it. Put him in the fence because, if you don't clear him right there,
You're not winning.
In turn 3, he's passing you on the outside.
Yeah.
So,
Easily.
I understand, but there's a point where you have to determine if it's worth it or not, right? Like if it's, is it going to be, whatever. But can you turn on the light, please? I look really dim.
You look really white.
Yeah, there we go.
Imagine.
I feel like there's about to be a monster behind you.
Imagine.
I feel like his room looks so different now.
Yeah. Well,
Like, I
I
feel like
changed
it's
the
like-
camera view
It
because.
is.
Okay. Maybe I'm stupid.
No, you're good. But yeah, what was your thoughts on Ross Chastain's move a couple weeks ago? Before we
Yeah,
get into tomorrow?
I don't know. It was racing, but at the same time, it was almost racing with a little bit of pettiness, a little bit of vengeance, and I feel like that side of it almost kind of took over a little bit and led to what we ended up seeing. And just like you said, there's a time and a place, and whether it's a lap 1 or 2 or 35 or the last, there's still a line of give and take. It's a matter of how much do you want to give or take, whatever situation you're in, without having the result that both them drivers had. One or the other, obviously Ross in this case, could have given a little bit more room, and yeah, maybe he might not have won the race, but he probably would have finished second, and he still probably had a shot at the win.
Yeah.
It might not have been over. Who knows what would have happened? But that you just got to use your head and know what that line is. And sometimes you just kind of can't overstep it, or it's just kind of pointless with the result you get.
For sure. I agree at 110%. As someone who loves authentic racing, when it comes to I don't mind rubbing whatsoever.
No, yeah, absolutely not.
But taking someone's line away is not, I don't know how I feel about that, right? Like you're completely choosing to, okay, he's better than I am, instead of trying to be better than the person. I feel like there was a line, but Dylan or Damon, you got anything to add on before we move on?
It's a very Chastain move for him to make, I guess, these days. I didn't really watch the race. or Wilkesboro for that much, but I did see the highlights and I did see what he did. I don't really remember it too much. I think he just drove in too deep and just walled them and then wrecked them both.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I think you
How
expect
many
at this
laps
point.
how many laps were to go at that point?
That was
30?
the second green white checkered,
No, okay.
I believe. I'm not. If
Yeah.
not the second, definitely the first. But
I feel like
or
if
other
they're
way
both
around.
aggressive drivers, I feel like if it's another position, I feel like Larson would have done the same thing, but he wouldn't have
And
got.
and that's the
Thing
thing too and he did earlier in the day. He did the same thing. He ran him up,
Yeah.
pretty much damn near put him in the wall, and then later Chastain did the same. But
I mean, Denny said it on his podcast about Larson. So if Larson was on the inside, maybe he'll do the same thing.
exactly, right, yeah. If
He's
you
gonna
take
put
the
you there and make
inside,
you lift.
right?
And honestly, he did. The restart before, right when Truex wrecked himself over the same situation.
Yeah, the exact same thing.
Larson literally was dooring the one during the moment of caution.
Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people caught that, but yeah, as you kind of see them two coming at exiting the frame, like you see Larson sliding up and dooring him pretty freaking good.
Yeah, it was, which was, in my opinion, that's where Ross had a reason to move him up the racetrack. But then again, Larson did wreck himself, and Chastain did. So it was like,
Right.
at some point you gotta realize what you're doing. But
Right.
I feel like I was saying, I feel like if it was Larson doing it, and the same thing happened, he wouldn't got too ridiculed for it. It would just been like because how Chastain's what he does, and that's
Reputation
what he's
is
done. Yeah,
built,
and
right.
Larson's reputation is for aggressive driver, but not like wrecking and putting other people in danger
Right.
of wrecking. But I feel like if he did that, nobody would care.
Right. No, yeah, I agree. And on top of that as well, that line of finding it, that can also be situational. If it had been, a long green flag run, we'd run 30, 40 laps and they're coming down to the white. You might have that extra give or extra to take because there ain't 40 cars behind you as well. There's not as much of a loss to be had, even if things kind of might not work out as well. But I mean, you just got to find that line, and clearly he's struggling to find where that line is because week in and week out we see him stepping over it in some way, shape, or form.
yeah.
But
sorry, I'm doing some things as we speak.
doing some things. That's a working man right there.
Pay him more. Come on now.
So yeah, I think that's about it that we got to really talk about. Darlington.
Yeah, for
Other
sure.
than the winner, I guess. Who won again? I don't even remember.
Byron.
Yeah.
Oh, Byron, that's right. Yeah, I mean, he had a great car as well. Like, he wasn't as fast as the 1 or the 5, but he was really quick as well.
And that was very significant for the number 24. That was its 100th win.
That was. Yep.
For the number. So 93 with Jeff, 7 with Byron. I can't believe that's all the people that's won in the 24.
I know. That's wild.
There
should be 101 wins, but, Hamlin's a douche, so.
Well, it's okay. 2017, Chase should have won like 6, but
yeah,
it just didn't happen. So
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Talking about that, I mean.
Gotta save it for 2020.
Talk about that. Hendrick Motorsports actually is now joined with Chuck E. Cheese,
I saw that.
which is really weird.
They got the mouse, just need the Mickey.
Yeah, we got the mouse, just need Mickey.
Well, they got Bowman, so I mean, close enough.
Oh God. Another thing to hit on as well for Darlington, Larson won the truck race as well?
The Xfinity.
Oh, the Xfinity. Wait, who won truck?
Arlington? Did they even?
I don't think they raced.
Did they not race?
They did.
Did they? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Hold up, let me.
Let's see. I'm already on there.
I don't
Oh,
remember.
Eckes. Christian
Eckes.
Eckes. I don't
Yeah.
remember
Christian
how he
Eckes won
won it.
Darlington. Great job to him.
I don't remember how he won it.
Did I? I don't think I watched it.
Oh, I
What
do.
time was that
So
at? Oh,
him and
E3.
Byron.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, him and Byron were side by side on the front row with a green white checkered, and then whoever was third, just put Byron in the fence, and then I just gave Eckes the win.
Oh, I did see that at least. Maybe just the video, I guess. But
I don't remember this.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about the truck race at all.
And then of course Larson and John Hunter Nemechek had that crazy finish for Xfinity. It smell good.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a crazy finish. It sucks for John Hunter. I feel like he deserved it, but I don't know. I mean, clearly Larson has been in the position to win at Darlington a lot in some way, some series.
Yeah,
And
he'll win.
he
the
shows he's willing to do anything he wants for it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone for that matter, but I don't know. Darlington, he's just there a lot more at the end, I guess.
Cup, for sure.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to go? What happened last week?
I have one more thing to
I
touch
have
on.
two
before-
words for that when Damon's done.
All right.
I saw this one tweet. I don't remember who it was from. It might have been from Pockrace, but I think after the Darlington race, maybe it was before, they took the Fords, the Chevys, and Toyotas, like all the cars, into wind tunnel testing, and they said that there was the Chevys were obviously ahead than the other two, and the Fords were noticeably behind, and that they said that there was no surprise that they were behind in the wind tunnel testing.
Which
Maybe.
is odd because at the beginning of the year, when they did the wind tunnel testing, they were 5 miles per hour faster than the rest of the manufacturers at the beginning of this year when they changed all the noses. So that's odd to me.
The louvers.
It's the louvers.
I saw that tweet. Like I don't remember when, like around the Darlington race, maybe before it. I don't remember.
So
but
that
I do
that
remember
is
seeing
interesting
That was
because
interesting.
I don't know where they gained. I mean, obviously engineering, but I don't know what put them in a position to gain all that. But who knows? What was the 2 words that you had for it?
Young Money.
Young money. That's for sure.
Yeah, the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
I mean, do you really
Just dominated. Absolutely dominated
basically
the whole
lap the
weekend.
field?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if they had another 20 laps, he would have.
So
They had no stages. He would have.
for one, so we had the truck race there for a points paying race, and then we had the All Star race. The truck race was kind of very a normal early 2000s short track truck race, in my opinion, in the sense of a lot of green flag runs, a lot of passing, a lot of comers and goers. I thought it was really great race. And then when Larson finally took the lead from Heim, you can just tell he was better as the race gone on. And then of course he just won. There wasn't that a green white
He
checkered.
just won.
Yeah, they had a green white checkered, but like no one was gonna contest with him. But he found a line that we get to talk about for the All-Star race. So coming out of 4, instead of using the pavement, that he used the concrete that was there because there was no rubber laid down on there. So there was no. It was easy to kind of full throttle coming out of the corner because you're straight off. Versus
It's not as greasy.
yeah, versus like being on the slick racetrack and you know trying to throttle up, but that means he was very slow in the center all race, and he was. That was where he was like the slowest, even as crew chief in the All-Star race, which we'll get to where he was at that moment in a second. But his crew chief was even telling him, "Hey, this is where you can be a little bit faster." He was 3 seconds above Bubba Wallace at the time, but he was like, "Hey, we noticed that you're like." Your middle is a little, you angle it weird. If you go a little bit lower, you can be a 10th faster a lap. And well, then he did. So, but I just thought that was interesting. That no matter how fast he was, Cliff Daniels was continuously
Looking at ways to improve, right?
Yeah. And that's something that Chad Knaus would do. Ironically, Chad Knaus he was under the 48 team when Chad was there. Makes sense on why he's so good. Oh, I know who Mitch.
What?
Sorry, Mike texted in the chat. Dylan D is DCD, and then Damon is actually Steelers boy on PlayStation. Mike, that's who people are. Welcome, by the way. And then so first off, their All-Star starts. Immediately the tire saving was right away. 5 laps in, you're already kind of, a second off the pace.
Yeah, damn near.
And so a caution came out with lap 15 of the first 100 laps of the race, and after, so you can use as many sets as you want in this 100, but the second 100 laps you can only use one set, no matter what lap. You can only just pit once. Long story short, 15 lap 15. There's a caution. Like the top 15 stay out of the 22 drivers.
Maybe even a little bit more than that. Well, no, probably about 15.
Which I was so confused on why.
I thought more was going to pit there. I was really surprised.
I think fifth on back should have pitted personally. I think that would have been your call.
Yeah.
Because track position, no matter how tire fall of his, it's just short track racing. Track position means everything.
Right.
And so, anyways, so Larson pits. He goes through the field.
Literally. Right? From freaking last, because he also got a penalty.
Yeah.
He started
through the field.
Dead last.
He passes the people with fresh tires as well. On the outside, dude, there's a video of his inside camera watching him pass everyone and what he was doing. Phenomenal. It was the best thing I've ever seen. He passes everyone. He gets a huge gap. 10-second gap on second. Laps up to 15th. And there were 7 cars right in front of him that was positioned 15th through 8th.
Oh yeah. And then the rest weren't even that far ahead of them.
Yeah. And so he genuinely could have lapped the field if he wanted to. Just because he was on fresh tires, and because everyone else was progressively getting worse, he was progressively getting worse, but just at a better rate.
Fast. Right.
Because he had fresher tires, I should say. And so that was so interesting to me that more people didn't pit. Of course, by the time stage or the lap 100 ended, the top 3 cars was the 3 cars that pitted under that caution. It was him, Bubba Wallace, and Tyler Reddick. So that just goes to show that it was still important. Now Larson got out there first, so he was able to kind of control the he was kind of able to control his lap time as soon as he got to the lead, and he got to the lead within less than 15 laps of fresh tires.
Yeah, literally. It was really quick.
So they were on 30 lap old tires, and by lap 30, you were almost 2 seconds off the pace.
Yeah.
And he's not even. He's 7/10 off the pace. So that's a whole second plus lap time that he's gaining with clean air.
Every single lap.
Yeah.
Too.
So, and yeah, for sure, Mike. Yeah, him and the 2311 cars were the only ones that benefited from the fresh tires. I think it's just because they were good enough
to benefit from it.
From it. The other people was kind of,
decent, right? We see all these different strategies and stuff, but a lot of strategies, they don't work if your car is not good.
Yeah.
You could put two tires on a car any day, but if that car ain't gonna go, then it just ain't gonna work. But you can throw them on a good car and it might work better.
Yeah.
So you gotta have the car as well behind you to make any strategy. Which obviously, like you said too, I'm really shocked that more people didn't pit there.
Yeah.
especially with all the tire wear, because in our heat races, we didn't really run green flag sunny races
Yeah.
ish, so we didn't really get a good gauge on tire wear for
More than
race conditions,
yeah.
for a normal race that we were going to be had. So I'm a little surprised that a lot more people didn't want to come in and check those tires out, see what they had. I don't know. I think honestly, if they did, we could have even seen the race go a whole different direction. Because
Yeah.
also as well, that would have been a whole extra pit stop that these people could have worked on the cars.
Yep.
And instead, they all just waited till lap 100
to
and then
pit.
only had one other opportunity.
Well, and that's where Chase made a point. He was I know on his interview he was like, I only made one pit stop, but we got it way better than what it was. Right. He said if there was another caution, I would have been right there. He said my car was good enough. We just started, row 6 on the restart. I just couldn't do anything. And honestly, when it comes to lap times, and I was looking on the tracker, him and Larson were literally number one back and forth after Larson got the 3-second gap on Bubba, because Bubba was with him on the time slot.
He was decent, yeah.
It just, so as soon as he got past the 3 seconds, you can tell Bubba's tires kind of fell off a little bit more than Larson. So
right.
But even in traffic, Chase Briscoe were like flying. They just
especially toward the end, man.
Yeah.
Chase Briscoe was moving, bro.
And then after with 20 to go, Chase Briscoe was like 3/10 faster than their field. So it was you could tell if there was a caution, the race would have played differently. Which, I mean, Larson just put a old whooping on the field. That's all he did.
Yeah, he went out there and did everything right, and that car was fast.
Yeah, exactly. They were relying on just another caution to come out, so they didn't use that as the tires. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wish we would have saw a caution in the last 100 laps. I really wish we would have saw one kind of the 15 lapper that Larson had.
I agree. I was kind of hoping for that.
I think if the first 100 laps and the last 100 laps kind of evened out, I would have loved to see how many people pit right there, just to see hey, do you want to really go the 85 laps, or do you want to wait and see if another caution comes out, and then you're winning the race? That's just
oh yeah, for sure. If another caution comes out and you're one of the ones that didn't take tires, but also didn't go a lap down,
exactly,
because that's a key factor in it as well. It's a huge gamble, especially with the tire wear.
Yep.
Not taking the tires, knowing how slow you're going to be, that's scary. And to make that work, you need a caution fairly quick. I'd say, maybe another 15, 20 laps go by. But I mean, it would have been really cool to see a little bit more strategy play out of it. Even with that being said as well, in the first 100, once we saw how fast Larson was, I'm really shocked that more people didn't come down under green sooner. But we only saw 2 or 3 people, and they waited 65 laps into that run before they decided they'd come.
Yeah,
I was a little surprised that we didn't see people come 10 laps after we went green and we saw how fast Larson was. Because if so, it could have balanced it right back out, and then someone else might have cycled back to the front.
Yeah.
Maybe not, because Larson was still fast. It would have had to have been the right car, of course, to make that happen. But
and I think one of the top 5 could have done it. So from Chase all the way to Suarez, I think it could have worked.
Right.
Logano, I think Logano was only there, honestly, by speed, just because of where he qualified. But as soon as he got to the back, he didn't move.
Yeah, he was stuck there.
You can just tell. Mike in the chat asked, DC, are you sleeping?
No, I'm trying to write something down, too.
Yeah.
I know, I've been working on my picks.
Yeah, we got
I'm
picks
not
later.
So just writing something I need for tomorrow.
So any thoughts on the All-Star race for you? Actually, so after you answer that, I do have another question about the All-Star race and how we feel. It
was all right. I mean, I liked a little bit of what I saw, but I didn't like a lot as well.
I think we could have went a little longer, honestly.
I agree with that, but I thought about it, and that's about the same distance that we've been doing mileage wise. I don't think it was much
Yeah.
different. So, but I agree. I would have liked to see maybe like 50 more laps or so. And then
Yeah.
even maybe throw in another competition caution for that strategy for ourselves if we're going to run single file like this, which I don't mind single file because it gives us the opportunity for that old school style bump and run.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Track needs something to help it, I think, a little bit. It seemed a little not so racy,
Yeah.
but it was okay.
I think. DC, do you have anything to add on to what he said?
Honestly, Denny said this on his podcast. I think all teams should be able to use one race tire if it's raining or not. One rain tire, not race tire.
What?
Yeah, I think the rain tires
Like have
actually.
the ability to use the rain tire
Yeah,
if you
Like,
want to. Who cares if
like
it's raining?
just at any point in time?
yeah,
Yeah, one set. If you want it, go for it. If not, oh well.
yeah. Um,
I think it'll make
Imagine.
it better.
I agree. See, and that's another thing too is I don't know if it was because of the tire or the rain and the tire, a mixture. I would like to see that tire in a dry setting. But I mean, they put on a show with that tire.
Yeah.
That tire, you could actually ride somebody's bumper. Normally, we
well,
can't do that.
and that was just because of how much traction you were able to get. Um, just because like the footprint of the actual tire wasn't fully on the pavement, right? So because there was divots in the footprint of it, you were able to use it was more car control on your your stability versus just because of how big the tire is.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can so with that, that means Goodyear has a chance to improve our tire that we have right now, and make it better. And what Denny said over the past week was, "Hey, this gives me hope over this car. It's not the car. It is definitely the tire. Just because of hey, he said literally from you could I felt the difference because I was on both tires. Right? He said I knew that I could ride someone's bumper and not have to and dirty air wasn't a thing. He said because it just wasn't. He said it wasn't because of the wet conditions because for one the track wasn't even wet when we were
It
on
wasn't
it.
that wet. Yeah.
He said it was literally just because of the footprint of the tire. You were whoever you were, it was more car control versus the footprint of the tire. So I think that's great to hear. I think that means Goodyear needs to get to work. Of course, I would like a little bit more horsepower, and maybe, maybe not a 5 gear, and maybe NASCAR take care of the gearing ratios,
Right.
and then just make sure that we're not shifting at tracks that we shouldn't be shifting at. Just because when you're doing that, okay, and all you're doing is creating a point in the corner of even if you're losing time, you could just shift down and you gain your RPM back. Like that's just I mean it's a great thing if you're a racer, but it's kind of a cheat.
Yeah, it's a good tool to be used.
Yeah,
I agree though. There's a lot of tracks that we shouldn't be shifting at. I don't know. Like I remember the first time I think we were. I don't know what mile and a half it was. Maybe Nashville or something. But we were shifting at a mile and a half a year or so ago, and I was
we're
like,
shifting at Auto Club.
"What
That
in
was
the hell?"
stupid.
They were shifting to Auto Club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
yeah,
Like that's the most momentum track there is. Period.
exactly.
You
You
want
can
to
just
keep that thing
you didn't
just
have to-
wound the hell up.
you didn't
That
have to
was the
worry
goal.
about that. You can just literally shift down to fourth and as soon as you're in the center of the corner and then go back up to fifth to get the momentum down.
That's wild. I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely we shouldn't be shifting at tracks like that. That don't make sense. Maybe in North Wilkesboro, maybe I guess if you really want to.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be all that.
Yeah, Mike, I agree. It's really hard to bump and run someone with these cars, but I think that's also because of how stable the rear end is just the way they had to build it. I think eventually the car will be easier to move because the engineering will get better and better. Just personally, I have faith. Even the drivers have all been out and said recently that NASCAR is working to fix every issue with this car, and that is aerodynamically, safety, and just in general. They just want the car to be better because this car is a long-term car. They want it like the Gen 4 type of thing, to be there for even a decade or so. So
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to talk about something that was terrible that happened this weekend. By the way, congrats to Larson. Great job. Good for him.
Dominated in the weekend. Just crazy.
So,
And on top of that, to win Darlington and then follow it up in North Wilkesboro. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, but that sounds like a hell of an accomplishment to win those 2 races back to back.
he could have won the Cup race too. That was what's crazy.
Right? Yeah, he could have swept two weekends. Oh well, kind of, not really, but
Sort of. But so I don't know if y'all heard about this, but there was stuff over the radio, over Bubba's radio during the race. I won't repeat what was said. It's none of my business. It was stupid anyways. But so because of what was happened, there's already talks about NASCAR changing the radios to be more of a digital radio, so that you can only solely listen. There's no way that you can
communicate
with the what is that called? Like 99.7. What is that? What's the numbers called?
Like station?
No,
Radio station?
Frequency. Thank you.
Frequency.
Thank you. That was
okay. Yeah. You can't tap into their frequency.
Exactly. There's already talks about that, which is phenomenal.
Great. Yeah.
I know what was said over the radio. Bubba did not hear because it was impossible from the way it was presented in there. It was only the team, and of course the team was very upset, which, with what was said, it's given every right. It just, I think it's perfect to go digital because then NASCAR kind of has more control over the radio in a sense of, when we talk to drivers through the booth after, a stage or whatever, they interrupt, the crew while they're talking and debriefing over what happened in that stage or whatever, which I thought was super annoying, stupid. I think now, if it's digitally, you can request a time to talk, and then the team can submit, a time period for like, hey, 30 seconds after we get out of pit road, here you go, click. And it'd be a digital standpoint. I think that's the right move to go. Unfortunately, it took a terrible situation, a terrible, it took immaturity for it to move this direction, but I think it'll be sooner rather than later. But yeah, I want to debrief that because that's news coming to NASCAR. Usually we don't talk about the stupid, idiotic stuff that comes on social media, but Bubba might as well just go ahead and embrace the villain role. And this is coming from a Bubba fan. Hell, if they already booing him right now, just soak it in and just run with it. I mean, yeah. I mean, he already said, social media is one of the things that he has to kind of tone down just because of what gets shown to him a lot. He just needs to. He instead of taking it and using it personality wise, he needs to take it and race with it. Right? Use that as drive. And I think that would make him a better race car driver.
Yeah,
just because, when you get wrecked, your lap time gets better, right? Like it just
Right, because you're mad. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, you're like, man, fuck.
exactly.
Screw that guy.
So instead of honing that in and put it into your heart, which I'm sure hurts my feelings. I mean, I'm not an athlete, right? Like I'm not someone who can sit there and look at criticism and be like, oh, I like that, right? Like that, I'm sure it's hurtful. And so you can't just say use that as fire. That's not
Right.
That's impossible. But what I'm saying is like that is something that you're gonna have to do to be a better race car driver. I mean, that's just because if you hear that all the time. For instance, I mean, Dale Jr. got criticism for most popular driver, but he never won a championship. Well, guess what?
Right.
He won 26 races. I mean, so he was something. Like he was
Right.
I mean, but I just think all those words and all those things that get said, it should be laughing in your face with results.
Right.
And I think that is something that he's getting better. More top 10s, more top 5s is in the last 2 years, right? I think all the pressure will make him better, and I genuinely agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yeah. There's some more news. So 3 things that happened that got updated literally last night, around 7 p.m., which was a weird time. So a heat-activated fire suppression system must be held in the engine compartment, not just in the fuel tank area. So that is effective June 21st, 2023. And that is, do y'all know what that is, by the way?
I wasn't listening, honestly.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's a fire suppression system that's held inside the engine versus by the fuel tank. It's in both now. So if the engine or the front end catches on fire, that trigger that the driver has on the inside of the car, it'll not just do the fuel tank, it'll do the front end engine as well.
What if because the burnt up, the heated up rubber that gets caught in between I don't know the rotors and all that?
Yeah, the rocker panels, and are you talking about the one by the flapper because of the short track package?
Well, I mean because I don't know how much it's really happened with the next gen car, but in the old last gen car there'd be fire because of the rubber getting stuck on the rotors.
Yeah.
When they take the tires off and all that, would that also ignite the system?
No. So technically, the driver unites.
The driver does it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a manual pull. It's like a pulley. It's right by your dash. But yeah, it's
if I'm not mistaken, it's like if you're like on NASCAR Heat and you're in car, there's like a orange looking triangle thing. I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Now the circle one, so the circle color is the actual starter of the car. And the one next to it should be the pulley system, where you just pull it out and it'll unite all the water and get all the fire out of it. Okay, it will not get all the fire out of it. It will suppress the fire. That's what.
It will eliminate it.
Yeah. So updated procedure if the leader of the time of caution is in an incident as far as a wave around and free pass. This is the dumbest rule. Just listen, and I can explain it in English. So, prior to the choose, if the official race leader falls to maintain speed because they're in an incident and or mechanical failure, after the caution lights or illuminated and or yellow flag is displayed, a new race leader is declared prior to pit road opening. Any vehicles in front of the new race leader may catch the tail end of the field when directed by NASCAR. As if they're ahead of the new race leader at the time of caution, they are the free pass vehicle at the time of caution. Between the race leader and the time of caution and the race leader when pit road reopens, a new free pass vehicle will not be designated or transferred. Vehicles eligible for the wave around position will be determined now by the lead lap person coming out of pit road. Okay.
So, to start, if we're in a situation, right?
Okay.
We're under caution.
I was reading that long
and
ass.
somebody comes up and wrecks the leader for whatever reason. Who cares what the reason is? I don't care. But say we're under caution, someone comes up and wrecks the leader.
Okay.
So then the leader has then wrecked. So now we have a new leader. And say we had just run a long green flag run, so there's lap down cars. The lap down cars behind that leader just go because now whoever was in second is now the new leader.
So yes. So if hold on. So if the
This is stupid.
okay, this rule is because of Darlington. I can tell you that right now. So you know when the caution was the time of caution, and 3 cars got their position back, the 4, the 6, and the 9. Okay, they were not technically maintaining the race speed because of the situation. So this is a point for lap down cards only, but the same rule is now for lead lap cards as well. But so let's say a wreck happens in front of you, okay, and you're the race leader, and its position is 26 and 27, okay, and you lap 28th on back, okay. The second place car is behind the 30th place car, and not the 28th and 29th and 30th. Okay, that makes sense? So let's say you're sitting like that. Well, the cars wreck in front of you, so you stop, okay? But the leader and the other cars that you already lapped pass you, and the thing, and the second place car passes you, you do not get your position back. That makes sense? And
I feel like that's already a rule.
Yeah. It is
already a rule.
But the lap down cars aren't a lap down anymore because of it. That's the new rule. And then there would be no such thing as a free pass because of it.
It's so dumb. That's so dumb.
Yeah, it's
I get it, but it's stupid.
I think it's a rule that's not necessary.
It's not necessary, no. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It should be common sense.
So and then on top of that, we go back to now we're kind of contradicting a little bit of we're frozen under yellow.
Yes.
Because if we're frozen under yellow, then
At that point, might as well throw the red flag.
And don't get me wrong, I understand also if we're frozen under yellow, and say we got 2 guys beating and banging and wreck each other, I don't think that they should get their positions back. You know what I'm saying? By no means, because they're doing their own fucking shit anyway.
Yeah.
But in normal race circumstances, that's kind of been the only thing. And I guarantee we're going to go right back to that and say something about it in the next few weeks, because I'm sure we're going to have a caution. And we're going to have a situation where it's all right. So then it doesn't make sense really, you know.
If Kyle Busch gets caught with that, he's going to kill somebody.
So then at that point, we're going to be looking at judgment calls, because it's going to be a judgment call of
NASCAR's putting themselves in the gray area.
But exactly, it's going to be so it's going to be,
and then it's going to be Chase was a lap down. Now he's not. Golden Boy. Like it's like that's all they're doing.
Right.
Harvick was a lap down last
season.
He
slid by, so he's good.
Yeah, he went by. He was maintaining.
Bowman just came back from injury. Lap down. Needed rating. So.
Oh my God! Did y'all see the memes about
yes,
Bowman
he's
coming
back
I
memes?
have not.
Yeah, well, no, that he's coming back, and then it was like NASCAR would say, "Oh, Chase Elliott's teammates are back."
Yeah.
I was rolling. I thought that was so funny.
Chase has been mid since he came back anyway.
Mid. I said this is. Hold on. Well, we'll get to picks in a second. But I said
I know you're picking.
I said that this is the week that the 9 team will get back on track and fully focus. I said it will take until the Coke 600. So, but
So did the script.
It's scripted. You're right. I actually read NASCAR's script before.
Who wins the championship?
Yeah.
For the joy.
Kyle Busch.
Austin Cindric.
Ryan Newman.
Ryan.
Hey, you don't need to be top 30 in points.
They give Newman a waiver.
What's the waiver?
They just want Rick Ware to
2020.
succeed. They want Rick Ware to succeed.
2020 Daytona.
Oh my God.
You owe me one, NASCAR. As many races I've missed with injuries, how many races I've missed this year?
I mean, they got 3 bars named after him in the car.
Yeah, I was
so-
just about to say that because
Right.
of the 3 bars. in the
I'm
car.
running the championship. Fuck y'all.
There's another rule as well they got in the same night. It was talking about practice and qualifying for all the double yellow line rules at racetracks. You have to stay under them until exiting 2. So
Oh, that was a rule already.
Oh,
but-
for qualifying.
and practice.
Oh.
I mean, whatever. Practicing isn't important, but qualifying that can make a difference though, because that means
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
gonna-
just go straight out and wound it up at certain tracks. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. I mean, since it's a rule, everybody obviously has to do it. So, at
So
the
we
end
wait
of
until
the
turn
day-
2 at road courses.
No, only double yellow line rules. This guy. This guy. Any other news that y'all saw?
I have one more thing to kind of like about
Bowman
Bubba.
back. Very
Oh.
peacing out until next year.
That's good. What was you about to say?
For Bubba, during his post race interview, he flipped the bird on camera to his friend. It was to his friend. It wasn't like a malicious intent, and
Yeah.
I thought he was fined for it, but he wasn't. NASCAR's not giving him a penalty because it was nothing malicious.
So,
I just thought that was something. I thought he would have got fined or something for that.
I'm surprised he didn't get fined, honestly. And the only reason I say that is because, I mean, like, technically, if you still cuss on TV, I believe it's still fine, regardless of what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
I mean,
Hamlin went off 2 years ago at Lawrenceville. Did he get fined for that? I don't remember.
Who?
On Bowman, Hamlin, the Bowman, 2021. Like
Where he was like,
He
he's
did-
a,
he did
he's
go
a
off
effing
on
he's a
hack.
he's a hack and
Yeah, no, he didn't
I
get
mean-
fined. Nah.
Chased it in
Uh-huh.
Darlington in 2020. He should have got fined. but-
Yeah.
That's true. He did do it there. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think.
I mean, see, but that's
Junior
even
did
a
it.
little different though. But I mean, like out of the car and just like,
I mean,
pretty much at the camera almost. Like I
Junior
feel
did
like
it a long time ago. So
yeah, Junior's is pretty badass. It's like at Dover. He's
yeah,
like,
he's got
he's
people
like
holding him
passing.
back.
He's like,
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I thought that was just something. I didn't really know what to think, but I just
No, I honestly, it just
I'm glad he didn't get fined for it. Honestly,
yeah, me too. I don't think you should be fined for flipping the bird.
yeah, no.
I think if you say
Well,
a cuss word,
Now,
I
if
don't
it's
think
Kyle,
he should
if
be
it's
fined for flipping the bird, but I think in that situation he should have
No.
used his head and
the only
not done
person who
it
probably would have
in the
is
middle
Kyle
of an
Busch, sitting in
interview.
the pits
Basically,
like
it looks
this.
like.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see it, but like from the picture, it
Give me-
looks like
get
it's
him
like
respawn.
literally in the middle of an interview.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the interview, he wasn't even. Haven't even talked yet, and so that's
Right.
why it was just the camera
well,
flipped
yeah.
to Jamie Little, which was
Right.
it was just random timing, and he's over like
Right, literally, like.
no, I think you know,
I think in that situation you could send like a
Expressions.
warning. You could send a warning.
yeah, I'm wondering to be fair. I guess.
More
No,
more drivers might do it now and be like, oh, he didn't get fined for it.
yeah.
So
Well,
if you do it to somebody else, like if Hamlin does it, you can't fine him because you didn't do
See,
it to
and that's
Bubba.
what I'm saying though too. Like, I'm not saying that like you shouldn't be not allowed to flip people off because
yeah,
we've seen
I
that
think
for
NASCAR should
years.
at least like talk.
But
talk
but I
about
just think in that certain
Yeah.
specific instance, it was
It was definitely like a
kind of weird. You
yeah,
know,
it was weird. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but I do think NASCAR should say something though, and just be like, hey, like to the drivers, like, hey, I want you to show emotion. That's fine. But when we flip to your camera, we want you to be professional, looking outside the
Right.
sport.
Mhm.
Like just to
Like,
just
give
to
him a
give
heads
a
up if
reminder.
he's-
Yeah,
They just flip into the
but
camera.
no penalty, no fine. That's stupid.
I mean, right? You know, like you said.
I mean, we got people climbing out windows while the car is moving. Are we really gonna fine for that?
I mean, like you said though too. Like, give him a heads up that they're coming to the camera. But at the
Exactly,
same time, though, if he's already standing there with Jamie Little, he probably has a pretty good idea that he's
He's
about
about to
to
get
get
interviewed. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it just should be like just a light talking to, you know? I
Yeah,
don't think
just
it
like,
should be
hey, just
crazy,
make
but
sure you
I just
understand
think
your surroundings. Yeah,
right.
I
I don't know.
I think that's all.
Another thing of small news. I don't know if you guys went over it while I was having my debacle about for a little bit, but Dale Jr. unveiled his paint scheme for his return
You did,
to
yeah.
Bristol at September 15th, the next Xfinity series. Just a nice mayonnaise car. You gotta love it. Fuck
Nothing
mayonnaise.
special.
Wow,
about the
dude,
scheme.
there's Hickory is going crazy right now. This race is insane.
Why?
What's running there?
Byron is going. Whew.
Is it super late models? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Man, we got SRX coming up here soon.
Mhm.
I won't be able to watch it though.
Why?
I don't have CBS
It's not on CBS.
On ESPN.
or whatever it
It's
is.
on
Oh, I don't have ESPN.
You can find a stream of that, I promise.
Maybe, hopefully. If not, then I'll just be watching it next day, YouTube type situation.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
I would love to watch them live. They've been
but
awesome.
Someone sent Byron up the track. Byron sent him up the track, 9 to go, and like they're going back and forth, sending each other up the track. It's pretty awesome.
Who's he racing?
Who's he racing? Like who's the
What?
other driver?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said what?
I don't know how to say his last name. Hold on. I'll try to look it up. Ruggiero.
Uh,
Regero.
What's his first name?
I'm only seeing
Sergio.
last names, dog.
All right, on to picks.
2 to go, and he's like bumper to Byron. Oh my god. Sorry, this is just
Yeah,
getting.
yeah.
what are you watching it on?
I'm just watching it off of the ASAM thing. Sails into the 3, side swipes Byron. He takes the win.
What a bummer.
Byron lost.
It's because he's a hack.
What a shitter, dude.
All
Yeah.
the Hendrick drivers
Because
are.
he doesn't have that Hendrick Motorsports equipment, man.
Exactly.
But Kevin Harvick hasn't won in his final year.
Josh Berry should have been in that car.
Oh my god. I'm about to poop myself. Anyways.
Time for Byron to get hurt. Just go around the Hendrick compartment.
Shit.
Larson
What's
goes
Larson
back
gonna
on
get
Twitch.
hurt doing?
Oh my. Okay. That's uncalled for. That's not
Who
right.
usually runs the 38 in Cup?
Gillen.
38. Gillen.
Title?
Gilliland.
Todd.
Dave.
Oh, Gilliland. In
Is
Cup
it-
right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's his car.
All year?
That's his
Well,
car.
it's not- he switches to the 36 when Zane Smith races because I guess they hate Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, for some reason, Zane Smith has like
Unbelievable luck in that car.
I don't know. Even though Todd Gilliland has been doing awesome this year for that
Yeah,
vehicle.
yeah.
I didn't even know that he was in it, I guess. I didn't pay that much attention. But I just saw he was running this week, so I was like,
He's 22nd in points. He has 3 top 10s. Not bad.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
And probably a road course and 2 super speedways.
So we have 5 races this weekend.
Yeah.
what? What are the other two?
F1
Oh,
and
yeah, I'm
IndyCar.
Indy
tripping. I
500
never
in
made the
Monaco.
picks for that, man. I'm way behind, bro.
Oh my god. It's okay, just say
Do
something.
it right now.
Just say Michael Schumacher.
Is he even racing?
Say homeboy that got sent to the hospital in like 2014.
Dang.
I don't know.
I don't know
Some
who that
random
is.
driver got sent to the hospital. Me neither. I just remember it happening.
Okay.
What are you
We'll
talking
start
about,
off.
Dan?
We'll start off with the other motorsports first, if y'all like. Well, so Sunday is the biggest motorsport day in ever.
Ever?
Ever
Ever.
of the year.
Ever.
You have Monaco in the morning. You have the Indy 500,
How does Monaco start?
9 a.m. Eastern time.
That's 8. Okay.
Yeah, 8 your time. Monaco in the morning for
So,
F1.
Indy.
We have the Indy 500 at noon, and then at 6 o'clock is the Coke 600.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, if rain doesn't affect it. So,
Man, start that shit at 4.
any pick for Monaco, Damon?
I'm gonna go the field over Verstappen.
The field versus Verstappen. Okay.
What was Chase's first race back?
Martinsville.
Martinsville,
Thanks.
yeah.
You were writing that for?
He's like, I want to go Elliott 8 races later.
You're funny. Nope.
Trash. DCT. Who you got?
I'm picking the American Logan Sargent on Memorial Day.
So white of you.
Mitch.
Literally.
The fast guy.
Max Verstappen.
Verstappen?
Okay.
Yeah, that guy. He's in the
Verstappen or his
Little Wayne
teammate,
video,
basically.
right? That
If
works.
Verstappen doesn't win,
Yes, he is,
was probably
actually.
cheated.
How did you
I'm
know
gonna
that?
say Max as well.
I don't know. I saw a meme the other day, and I saw Lil Wayne rapping with him doing donuts around him.
Oh, Charles Leclerc, bro. He's like top 100 on charts right now. In like the world, I think, so. Watch out. Watch out, Lil Wayne.
All right.
Bro, who's gonna suck, man? I don't know.
All right.
And
And
F1,
your
everybody
Indy
but
500 pick,
Verstappen.
David?
Scott Dixon, that's the only person I know.
Oh, DCD?
Or Alexander
Scott
Rossi.
Dixon.
Does he even race IndyCar?
I think he does.
Alexander Rossi
I'm
is
picking-
racing, yeah.
Alright, I'll pick him then. Fuck it. Go different.
I'm picking Scott Dixon. I had this before the podcast started.
Okay. Mitch, who you got?
I'm looking at the injury list right now.
Okay.
Juan Pablo.
He's not-
Is he racing?
No, he's not. I was looking for him, actually. Just to see. But
Where's Marcos Ambrose?
Marco.
Who won last year?
Has
Elio?
Who?
Who?
Elio won last year?
No,
That
Erickson.
was the year before.
Erickson. won.
Yeah, the year before, I think.
Yeah, because I was at the beach when that happened. I remember.
Yeah, Marcus Erickson won last
That's
year.
when Hendrick was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, Marco is running though.
Yeah, you see Andretti? I saw that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. There's a lot of good drivers.
Yeah.
Connor Daly. I didn't even see him. He'll probably be quick.
No, this is the track. He's really good. So
Yeah. I'm gonna go willpower.
okay, I like it.
I used to love him.
For myself, I'm going. I'm between the two. Between Connor Daly and
Say
Pato
it.
Ward.
Say it. Oh.
I'm gonna say Award. I think Pato gets it. He's been fast all year. So
Oh, what?
I only watch this shit this day of the year. So.
really, yeah. I only watch.
Yeah.
I only watch Indy here and there.
Like, if there's nothing else on, I'll turn on, like,
Yeah.
a Grand Prix or something just because it's on. But I'm not caring for it.
All right. Now we're done. Someone can do the truck.
I got this.
Okay.
Sorry, I was excited. Alright. Trucks are at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the North Carolina Education Lottery. 134 laps, 200 miles. Weather, this is probably the best weather day of the weekend for Charlotte. It's tomorrow, Friday, May 26th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
Dude, I'm excited.
Done boy, who do you have to suck?
To suck, I have Jack Wood.
Your mom.
Okay,
Jack
Mom's dead,
Wood.
so.
Dude, it's going to be cold at Charlotte.
Alright,
What the
Mitch,
hell?
who's gonna suck tomorrow? Your mother. Sorry.
I'm gonna go with Jake Garcia.
Bailey Curry in the 41. That's interesting. All right, Dylan, who's gonna suck tomorrow?
I think Carson sucks this week. Carson Christopher.
I almost said that.
I have Stuart Friesen sucking this week.
Is that normal?
But yeah, basically any track that's not like a short track or dirt, it's basically
Dirt.
Dumb boy. He's gonna have a good run.
Matty D.
Mitch.
I'm gonna go with David Gilliland. It's been a while since he's run his own truck. I think he's gonna have a good run.
I thought about that.
Dylan.
Ty Majeski. I think he's gonna have a good run. He's been really fast all year. Should be second. He's gonna be second.
Got Ryan Vargas to have a good run.
That's good.
He's a winning dumb boy.
Ben Rhodes.
I can see
Mitchell?
that. I'm gonna go with Zane Smith. You know, he's had 2 of his worst finishes back to back this season, and I think he needs to flip it back. He's gonna go get a win. Last year he finished 5th there, so I think he can do it.
Dylan.
Nicholas Sanchez. Strong run of Texas got wrecked out. I think he'll win it.
I got Carson Hocevar winning.
I can see it. I almost went with that too.
Watch, if he hurts himself like he broke his leg last year, Josh Berry.
Shut up.
Just saying, Josh Berry needs the opportunity. Man.
All right.
He's gonna have one next year. He'll be fine.
Who's got the Xfinity information?
I got you right now. The Xfinity race is Saturday, May 26th at 3. Oh wait, they actually moved it up to what 12:15 now, I believe.
11
19,
a.m.
I
on
think.
my phone.
What?
He's central, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
12.
I was
It's 12.
about to say
Eastern.
9. What in the world? Oh yeah. It's weird. But yeah. So anyway, 12:15, I believe, or whatever. Saturday evening, not evening.
Morning?
Saturday
Noon.
noon. It's at
basically.
freaking noon on Saturday, dude.
It's technically before noon.
What is this
It's
guy
also
on?
Uniforms 300. It's 300 miles, 200 laps. It'll be on FS1. Who do you guys suck in DCD?
Natalie Decker.
I mean, that's valid.
Amen.
Hey,
She's
hey.
good at it.
Alright. No sexism here, alright, guys? Come on.
She's good at sucking. I compliment her.
Oh my god, okay. Who's the next one, Mitch? Me, how about that?
You,
Right?
yeah.
Who's gonna suck? Parker Westlaw.
Who?
You think? I don't know, man. He's been pretty impressive. Dylan?
Daniel Hamburg.
Wow.
Yourself?
Sorry. I'm gonna go
Oh,
with Ty
Dylan,
Gibbs.
Dylan. Oh.
I think he's gonna come back to Xfinity again, and he's gonna think he's the shit and cause some shit and just suck.
Who?
Ty Gibbs. Who do you got having a good run, DCD?
Carson Hocevar.
Yeah, can see that. He's in that 77 in the car though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spire.
Yeah,
He was good the other week.
Yeah, it's decent in Xfinity. Damon, who you got?
Joshua Berry.
Joshua Berry. Dylan. Yeah, he had a good run there last year though, right?
He won.
Yeah.
Carson Hocevar.
Cosin.
Cosin.
Yeah, I can see
I like
that.
the name Cosin. I really do. It's like cosign.
Cosin.
What up, Cosign?
Yo, Cosin, I need you to cosign.
Cosign gangster.
Dude, that was the nerdiest thing I've ever seen.
I'm dead. I got.
You're thinking of like
Chandler-
cosign, like on a credit card, aren't you?
Yeah, well, not a credit card, but like a loan.
Like a cosign, yeah. I was thinking of
what
like
did you mean?
I was thinking of like cosign and tangent, like.
Oh my god, the trigonometry stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was nerdy for that. For
bro, I've been out of school for a minute. I was like, what?
I just got done doing that stuff, so.
because when you're like, yeah, cosine. And I was like, I don't think he got what I just said.
That's so funny. I took it a different way.
Yeah, I know. I realize that now. But
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I have Chandler Smith. Having a good run. Who you got winning the Xfinity race, DCD?
Justin Allgaier. He makes He gets it back from last year after finishing second to Josh Berry.
We'll see, maybe. Damon?
Kyle Busch.
Dylan?
We have lost him.
I'm between like 3 people, and that's what. You know
I feel
what?
that.
Cole Custer.
He has a
Jagger
win
over
there,
there?
right?
What?
That's
He
nasty.
has a win there, right?
Yeah, he's won there before.
I could see that. I feel like it's about time for him to do something. Maybe that experience gets him down there. Who knows?
Bust.
Screw you. I hope Bowman breaks a leg or something next.
Oh my god.
They
He's
already
gonna get a
did,
playoff
bro.
favor again.
Hopefully he backs it into the wall in turn 1 in practice.
Ironically, he says Bex.
All right, Kurt.
That's the goal. I'm gonna follow up. Damon. KFB, man. I think you got to go with that collar car. I feel like their cars are really good, and then when you put a driver like that in, it's gonna be up front.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Sunday, we have the Coca-Cola 600, 400 laps, 600 miles, the longest race of the year. It's on Fox and PRN. The race starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 28th. Sorry,
Supposedly.
Weather's looking a little iffy. Who's gonna suck, Mitch?
Ty Gibbs. You know, it's to my knowledge, I believe his first 600. It's a long race. I think he's gonna struggle trying to get down all them
Push a
laps.
little hard. Yeah.
Todd Gillen's in the 51.
Yeah, because of freaking Zane.
Why is he not in the third? That's a whole different team. Why are they fucking him like that?
Because they don't have anybody else.
No, this
somebody
is
else
such
is somewhere
bullshit,
else.
bro. I hope he gets. Hope he gets to cover for Harvick next year, dude. This is fucking dog shit, bro.
Dude, he honestly deserves it. I'm not even joking.
He's getting screwed right now, and
Yeah.
he's not doing bad. He's getting
Let's say
screwed.
Car's gonna have 2 open spots. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna have all fucking 4 open.
I'm hearing Harrison's going there.
Yeah, Harrison probably go there too. And then I think
Ew.
I mean, I'm down for it. I love Harrison. I would love that, but
and then Cole Custer, I think
21.
he'll probably take the 21 after that. If that's the case.
Dude, this isn't fair for Todd. Dude, now I'm getting mad, bro. It's not fair for Todd Gillen because he's doing good, and they're kicking him out to put Zane Smith in it. Like,
Yeah, so who's gonna suck?
yeah, I mean, we saw.
oh yeah, oh sorry, you guys. I can't go on a tangent, guys. Jesus.
No.
No, just go.
I held my tangent back last week. All right, whatever. Well,
Dude,
I
that was
just
such a
because I want him to suck. I hope Zane Smith sucks ass. I hope he does a couple fucking barrel rolls.
Has he-
It
doing
sucks.
good.
It sucks for me too, though, because I like both of them a lot.
Nah, fuck Zane Smith now, dude.
I mean, I think
Zane
Zane's got
Smith is
more
Jared.
talent than
He's
Todd.
a
Well, yeah,
JRM driver.
that's
He does, but Todd's getting screwed when he's not.
No,
doing
I
it.
agree, because Todd's doing good, but
I see Zane
What it
Smith
is.
roaming on the streets, bro.
Put Zane in the 21.
yeah. Who's your suck? DCD.
AJ Allmendinger.
Out of road
Yeah.
course, that's why. Right, Mitch?
For sure.
Hey, we got road courses coming
Hey,
up. Be ready.
Hey, who needs a good run, or who's gonna have a good run, depending on what you got. Mitch.
good run. I gotta go with.
I didn't do a sick pick. Sorry. I think
Oh yeah, you didn't.
I think I genuinely think all the Toyotas are gonna suck this week, but
Alright, so who's gonna suck, Dylan? Who's gonna suck? All right,
I'm gonna go ham one. I'm gonna go ham one. I'm gonna ham one.
You're tripping.
Watch. All right, who needs a
He's
good
white
run?
hot, man.
What?
Who needs a good
White
run?
hot.
Yeah, all of y'all just talked.
Oh my god, who's gonna have a good run, Mitch? Oh my god. I'm gonna start
I
flipping shit.
gotta go with good old 7-time. He's got 8 wins there. I think he's gonna have a good run. Finally.
Well, I'm gonna go somebody different then.
What a loser.
You know what? I'm gonna hope this dude doesn't break his leg. I think he'll do pretty good. Eric Almirola.
I thought you were going to chase from that.
He's probably gonna break his back again, like Kansas.
No,
Today was going to be a good run.
I'll break
Alex
him off
Bowman
back.
is going to have a good run. Jimmy's former ride.
I was going to comment on Hendrick, but there's only allowed a few characters. So instead of editing damn near all my comment, just say hi. Oh, welcome to the stream, dude. Awesome. Glad you're here.
What a hack!
Who'd you say who's going to have a good run?
Alex
Me?
Bowman.
Oh, okay.
He's definitely gonna break it.
I'm going to say Todd
Fucking
Gillen.
skull.
You know, he's going to make that 51 go in the top 20.
Honestly, though, he probably is.
You guys
Like,
think way too much
realistically,
of the
though.
51.
No, but we think a lot about Todd.
You guys think a lot about the drivers that are
we
in
had
it.
just went
You
on
said
a whole
Newman was
tangent
gonna bring it to
5
a top
minutes ago.
25. He was 36.
But
the whole
Newman is
fucking race.
trash. Newman cried
And you
also
said
about
he was
never-
gonna be top 25.
Newman cried about everything. He went out there and said they raced him too hard.
Oh my god.
Nah,
It also
yeah.
was his first race in that car. Give him a break.
Okay, but he did okay in the open though.
He did
was-
okay for what we
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
for that car.
Yeah. Mitch, you should recognize the name Race Girl. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have another girlfriend or something?
No, that's my mom.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I was just like, who's that?
That's
So
her,
who's gonna win the
PSN.
Coke 600?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yes, Mitchell.
Oh. I obviously, like we stated a minute ago, with Ty Gibbs. I think it's gonna be a long race. I think it's gonna be grueling. So on. I think it's gonna be a race of survival.
All right, who's gonna win?
It's gonna be a
Sorry,
first time.
I'm all pissed off. Dylan did it. I'm all pissed off.
It's gonna be a first time winner. It's gonna be Harrison coming home with the dub.
You're on crack.
It's a
You're
race
on
of
crack.
survival, homie. Survival.
You're on
I mean,
crack.
400
David
laps.
Ruderman, Jeff
Yeah, he's
Gordon,
gonna do what he did at Daytona last year. He's gonna start flipping.
Casey Mears.
Freaking Kevin Harvick.
flipping.
Oh my god.
Oh
We
god.
have a list of first time winners here. So
Jamie Mack. There's a bunch, man.
I got Ross Chastain.
David Pearson.
Ross Chastain. I like it.
He's gonna wreck the whole field. So
Yeah,
it's
it's gonna be Ross versus the field versus
I mean, most likely.
he's got a lot of time to do it. So
versus
he's also got a lot of time.
yeah,
do
he's got an
that.
extra 100
So,
miles to make sure he gets one more
Yeah.
fender. I promise.
He got enough time to flying through the air last year.
Do we see a fight next week? Or this week? I guess?
nobody wants to fuck with Ross now.
Well, not necessarily with
No.
Ross, just a fight in
I don't-
general.
No, I don't think we see.
No.
it.
Everybody's gonna be too tired to fight.
I can't. All right.
But we could see mid-race fights. It's a long race, man.
They're
We're
gonna
gonna
be
see
like,
a lot
"Where's
of
my
raps.
beer?"
We do stop midway and like have a moment of silence at lap 200, right?
Everybody's gonna start getting out of
Yeah.
the car.
I
and
think
just
we
like
do,
flying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just start
If
throwing
we're
beer.
gonna Ross and Noah get out of the car, just
Moment
start
of silence, I'm
throwing
gonna
haymaker.
Start fighting.
We need another Wiz Khalifa mid-race performance,
Yeah, at the Coke 600.
Oh,
I think
or,
that'd
or
be
maybe,
alright.
or maybe Dixie does it. You know,
That'd be great.
Three more.
Yeah.
Three more weeks and we're on NBC. Oh yes,
Oh, thank God.
beautiful.
Is that it? Really?
Yeah, thank God.
Yes.
Uh,
what's this?
cow.
It's this Gateway and Stillman.
Yeah. So
Uh,
Chaser Larson for Sonoma.
DCD, who you got winning?
Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott.
That's a hack.
That's a hack. And he's such a hack. I'm picking him too. I
I mean, he's
I
probably
said
gonna
it.
break his ankle.
Dude, I said it. I said Chase Elliott will the 9 team will start strong, starting the Coke 600, and I believe it.
The hacks stay together.
The hacks stay together. Bowman and Chase. God bless. Either way. No, I'm like I was serious, but I think Hinder Motorsports should be dominant. This race for some reason I just have a feeling. So.
I mean,
I mean, they're
years ago-
dominant every race, so
Well, like I just think it's gonna be like a
If they don't lead half the race,
like
it's a bummer.
if it's like this year we've seen it. If it's not Larson, it's Byron, and then if it's not them, it's the other two kind of filling in a little bit.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, Bowman had a streak of top 15.
yeah. Well,
before
Bowman
he
was
got
like, I mean, he's still only 5 points out of the friggin' playoffs.
yeah,
He's-
literally.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What a
That's-
bum. He got hurt.
That's why I feel like
got
NASCAR
hurt.
just had to say he has a waiver. But it's like they're like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
We gave him 100 points ago, like a couple weeks back. Like he's good.
I didn't take 25.
Yeah. They would have never 225. He'd still be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. Anyways, that was a fun episode. I honestly had a really fun with the picks, especially picking the Indy 500 and Monaco.
I feel there.
I'm excited for this race weekend. It's
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite weekend of the year. Definitely. I mean, of course.
It always touches your heart watching all the pre-race ceremonies and stuff that they do,
for
because
sure.
it's always a little different than our week-to-week typical ceremonies. So it's always, I don't know, just nice. Think about your troops. I don't know, but I assume we're gonna have troop names on the windshields again.
Yeah.
I think that's an awesome touch, which a lot of other drivers
I think
put
Goodyear
more names
also,
as well. But
I think Goodyear also has the blue lettering.
the blue lettering, but that support the troops ones or whatever.
If I'm not
That's a
mistaken.
nice looking color.
All the paint schemes look great this year. I love them. They look good.
There's a lot.
The Smithfield 10 looks really good. Honestly, I wish that was
Speaking of that,
the all year paint scheme.
Yeah, that's great.
Uh-oh.
I need to see if Bowman has his paint scheme out on their shop.
Yeah, all their attention has been on Ross, for sure.
I mean, he brings it to him though.
They have the die cast of it.
Yeah, for sure.
What the hell?
I agree. Sorry, your mom. I was agreeing with her. So
What'd she say?
she was like, "Yeah, but all their attention has been all on Ross. In my opinion, it's taking a little too much attention from what they should be focusing on. Continuing to focus on their opponents in a way that it's not good for their success overall."
Yeah.
I can't. I just really feel like Logano's gonna get into someone this weekend. I don't know why. I just have this like weird feeling that he's gonna just wreck the field.
I almost picked him as my suck pick.
Dude,
I almost did
struggling.
too. I almost did too.
Hey, who's gonna win this weekend? Who you got? Your mama? Okay.
Imagine.
Yeah, you go, Money Mitch's mom.
Money
Mitch's mom. That's wild.
Money
She's gonna win
bitch
this weekend.
294. Mom. Good job. Bring it to They're just gonna have to keep running as well. Both teams running near each other for the track issue. Yeah.
So what do y'all think about Josh Berry?
Trash.
Dog shit.
Just waiting for somebody else to get injured.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time.
No, I think.
Hopefully you don't get injured.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Josh Berry fan personally. I think he did good, especially for being
He
a
did
filler.
better than what was expected.
Yeah, and I think that'll get him a cup ride.
I mean,
next year.
Looks like
Apparently,
it's
there's a
that way.
rumor. There's a rumor that they're finalizing a deal
Yeah,
with SHL right now.
yeah. So
And boys knocking on the door with Kevin.
Yeah, and I'm not super surprised, especially on top of that with, Harvick
dirt
and what?
I mean, running dirt and shit, all the other kinds of shit. That's Tony's kind of people.
Barry's like, your time is up, old man.
What are you talking about?
yeah, honestly, I can see SHR going back to Chevy too.
I was literally just talking about that with Thomas like 30 minutes ago on the phone.
Now with it, so hear me out. Watch Stewart kicks Haas off the team, adds Dale Jr. Okay, this is crazy thing to think about. Okay, Dale Jr. and Stewart Haas get the team together. Okay, and then it's 2 cars for Jr., 2 cars for Stewart, just like it was for Stewart Haas Racing. And then they switch to Chevrolet, and then SHR will lose their Xfinity program. It'll just combine into one.
So Truex to JRM next year is what I'm hearing.
Wouldn't that be crazy? All that happened.
That would be crazy.
Hey,
That's a
You know
lot
who
of
operates?
moving
You
pieces
know who operates
there.
the second car too for JRM if that happens? Ryan Truex.
Ooh, oh God. Um,
Maybe. Who knows?
Nah, he'd
Better than
get
Martin.
Noah for sure.
but that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Like all that combined.
That is crazy. And the crazy part is you can almost see it working out because there's been so many connections, which I was going to say a second ago, with Harvick and Junior alone with
Yeah.
Jeff Burton and Newman. Was it Newman that bought it with him? Who's the other guy?
Kansas.
Kenza that bought the car store with them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I feel like it was
I
Kansas.
think. I don't know.
I don't know. I know for sure.
I know it was
Harvick,
those three.
Junior,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Burton. 100% that
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
Anyway,
I knew it was those,
so what I was going to say though is obviously we know Jeff Burton, not Jeff Burton, but Josh Berry. He came from late models and modified
Justin
racing and
Marks.
stuff like that from Junior anyway. So I feel like them buying that whole series and all of that stuff, I feel like he's been kind of working a lot more closer with Josh Berry, and I feel like that's almost kind of what opened that door a little bit more as well for him to scoot on to SHR. And on top of that, I feel like Harvick's been probably low key scouting anyway, you know.
well, Josh Berry is actually under the KHI
Management.
management.
Is
Yeah,
he?
he just signed
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Well, yeah, I know recently, yeah. But prior to that, though, that's what I'm saying. Though I think that's kind of all of this stuff has been leading up to this, you know, and building that relationship up to that.
Well, Josh Berry kind of reminds me of Kevin in the sense of his like the way he like talks and the way he just very relaxed.
Yeah.
So I think they probably mesh well.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Josh Berry will probably mesh really well with Rodney as well.
Yeah. But I think Rodney retires. He said if Kevin leaves, I think he leaves.
No.
No,
He
so
said
far
that
it's
he's
been
staying.
saying that he's gonna stay. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that somebody asked him if he was going to retire with Harvick on Twitter, and he said, "No, I'm here. I'm here to stay."
I think originally he had planned on it or something, but I don't know. Maybe he also kind of thought Harvick would be around a few more years or
right.
something. You know. I don't know.
That could be true, but
So going back to that crazy wild theory though. So what if that happened? Does Haas for one stay in NASCAR?
no.
You know, and just drop? You don't think so? He just completely did
No,
straight
he's
out.
gone.
Yeah, he's gone for sure. Just because I don't think he wants to be in there in the first place.
I mean, I agree. It
just-
clearly
And why-
stuff ain't meshing over there from what. All
Why
the
waste your
stories
time
and
with
stuff.
Cole Custer and Xfinity? You already tried to move him up to Cup and it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because his dad's in management of Haas Racing,
Oh yeah, duh.
so it's daddy's money. So he's trying to make sure he gets something out of the deal.
Yeah. See, right now, on top of that, I feel like the only reason they're kind of hanging Herbst around is for the money. You know, I
That
feel like they
monster
almost
money.
look at exactly. I feel like they almost look at it more of like a Danica Patrick type situation.
Yeah.
Only thing she was.
Why do you
good
think
for was
Almirola's
money.
still around?
Yeah,
And-
because
well, I mean, yeah,
Smithfield,
absolutely.
yeah.
They
Right.
definitely
Right.
talked him out of it and got that Smithfield money.
They wanted that whole extra year of it, you know, because they know without Almirola, they're probably going to be little to none in the sport. You know.
Well, I think
That-
you know, even if either way, I think Stuart Haas goes down to 3 cars, even if it stays Stuart Haas Racing. Yeah, and it's just because I just don't think they have the resources.
I agree.
And they're smart. If they're smart enough, they use that whole team that they don't let them go. They use that for development.
Right.
Okay. In a sense of like engineering at the shop, make sure you have everything you need to be successful for the 3 teams because you obviously couldn't do it
Right.
after all the good drivers left, right? Like I mean, you have decent drivers in there. I mean, you still have Priest. This is excluding Kevin. Do not.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah. He's not even raced for our SHR. He raced for Kevin Harvick Racing. It's 2 different. It literally looks like 2 different vehicles. How fast he is compared to his teammates.
Literally,
So
it's wild.
it's really
Mhm.
stupid. If I'm being honest, just like I don't know if it's I don't know what's going on over there. Sorry, Josh Berry and Steelhouse Racing are working towards finalizing a contract that would have Josh Berry have full time team. Yeah, at the beginning of 2024. Yeah, exactly. Uh, well, anyways, I mean they have Priest. I mean he's a good short track driver. I mean he just.
Right.
I mean, whatever. They have Chase Briscoe. He's at least as good enough as Clint Boyer. Um,
Better
and
than
Yeah,
Clint, in my opinion.
I think, well, yeah, I think he is
but
better
I'm just
than
saying,
Clint.
like compared to where they were in 2017, he's at least
Right.
his level is at least Clint Boyer level, right? And then you have Amarola, who was the same person he was in 2017. Maybe his heart's not in it because he wanted to retire, so I guess he could just be doing it for the shits and giggles. But there's no way you're sitting there racing because of shits and giggles, right? Like I mean, you want to win as a driver, so.
Right.
Anyways, it's just nuts to me. I like this whole thing.
Yeah, I think Briscoe. Honestly, I think he's probably the most talented driver there, in my opinion. Like I think he's honestly more talented than Harvick. But it's just he doesn't have.
What?
You saw what he did last.
Like
I
right
feel like
this
he is.
second, like
Like,
right now.
I feel like in general, like he's a better racer all around. Not maybe not all around, but I feel like his ceiling is like higher than what Harvick's is. In my opinion, obviously
No.
Harvick's a great driver, but I don't think he's great.
Yeah.
He's not great everywhere like Briscoe is. I see Harvick has his lapses on some short tracks now, like Martinsville or something. He's terrible on dirt. He's terrible on road courses, except for like a couple and 1 in a million
Like
chances.
Sonoma and maybe
Sonoma.
the Glen. Yeah.
And the Roval, he's pretty good there. He gets top
He
5.
has been decent at the Roval though.
But I
Yeah.
feel like you
He
saw
took
what Briscoe
races in
did
his
last
mirror.
year. If Briscoe
He's almost won it twice.
if Briscoe didn't fuck it a lot last year, he could have a lot more wins. I think of Gateway. He dominated the first 30 laps and he had that early trouble and could never get back up there. Bristol Dirt, obviously. He spun again at
Charlotte almost
Charlotte
last year.
And then Martinsville, he almost had it, but he was on such worn tires. He could have gotten the championship 4. Now this year, I don't know what's happening. Obviously, they're missing something because he's going 8 laps down and he's racing. He's racing. And yeah, they may have some trouble on pit road, but he's racing.
Yeah.
And the cars just suck that much. It's like unreal. Like Amarola, Harvick's good, like adjusting, getting the car. He's not good at the start of the race, but he's good adjusting the car, getting it to where he needs. That's why he's always in the top 10. Like I feel like this longer race, the Coke 600, I think Harvick by mile 500 is going to be up there for the win.
I do agree with that. And I think that all boils down to communication. Obviously, Priest, Briscoe, and I mean, kind of excluding Almirola a little bit here, but they're still young, so they're still learning a little bit different ways to communicate, how to communicate, what words need to be said to the crew chief to make them, give certain different adjustments for different times or whatnot. So I feel like they still got a lot of communication ways that they can build and be better. And I think that'll help a little bit. And going back to the Harvick side, I think his communication is obviously top tier, as we see him retiring. He's not getting much better, but he knows what he needs and he knows how to get what he needs, So I feel like that's why we see drivers like him and also, KB and a lot more of our veteran drivers, they get the adjustments that they need a lot quicker because they know what that feel is that they're looking for. So I think that side of it will come a little bit more with time. But I don't know. I think SHR as a whole, they're in a deep hole. Things got to change, whether it's management, crew chiefs, cars, manufacturers. Yeah, something's got to change because, I mean, really, ever since 2020, there's been no forward progression over there.
And they're making plenty of money. They're making that bacon money. They're making that Bush beer money and all the money.
Right.
Hunt Brothers they don't even sponsor Harvick that much, but they're a good partner with them. They're bringing in that money. They're making all this money and they're doing nothing with it. Like you see, Hendrick. Like you see, most of their cars are using their own sponsor, like Hendrick Motorsports, Hendrick.com or whatever. They're using that. I get Stuart Haas also does that for like the 41, and that's why just because they can't find sponsors. When HMS can probably find sponsors because and they're still a top tier team. Like, what major sponsors besides like Napa does Hendrick have right now? Exalta, I guess, still a little bit, right?
Ally, Exalta.
So they do have some main ones, but
he
a
still
lot
had
of their
Kyle
cars,
Larson actually got a new one.
like the Sun
Yeah,
Energy or
he
whatever.
he got 2 new ones actually.
Yeah.
But you see, like, at least one of their cars feels like every week, like a 24 and the 5. Well, I don't want to see it for the 9 or the 48 at all, but even all their Xfinity cars, Xfinity Interest to have is sponsored by Hendrick.com, coming straight out of Rick Hendrick's pocket. You know, and they're top. They're the best team right now. There's no doubt about it. SHR is behind. Probably RFK now, to be honest.
I hear what you're saying, but I mean, to touch a little bit more on the Hendrick cars, I mean, although it is Hendrick sponsored, it's not straight up like Hendrick's money, because the Hendrick cars as a company is completely established to where whatever money that they're putting into, it's not even affecting Rick in any kind of way, because it's
the
just
team,
a whole right, or the team in general, because it's just a whole other business completely established and fully growth without its own thing. You know, they're doing their own marketing thing. That's the point of sponsoring anyway.
Yeah. But I do think, like, going to that, you know, Hendrick Motorsports does not want to do that because they just have to with Larson right now, because this is...
No one wants to sponsor him yet.
No one wants to sponsor a guy after what he said. I mean, people, they're not stupid. It's just... Eventually, someone will get. He's starting to get sponsors now, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
first one.
Eventually, it'll come back. You can't just prove yourself in 2 seasons to say like, hey, you know, I've gotten better as a person. Or it was just a mistake. It's not my vocabulary. It's gonna take years.
Time.
And that's why. That's why one of the, you know, crazy stats that people keep saying is, like, he's going to be one of the greatest. He's going to be the greatest NASCAR driver of all time. Is what has been going on social media right now. I'm like, no, there's no way, because he won't have enough time span for that.
Yeah.
He won't have enough sponsorship to make that happen.
I agree.
Petty had enough sponsorship to make that happen. Dale
and
Senior,
all the time in the world.
Exactly. Senior had enough sponsorship to make that happen. Jimmy Johnson had enough sponsorship to make that happen. There is, yes, it comes to driver skill. He is one of the best, won't doubt. Like, that's not a question. The question is he mentally capable of being elite? Right? Like, that's just that's the number one thing. Secondly, does people want to stand behind the guy? Right? Now, these core fans do, and that there could be a couple reasons for that. You know, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but you know, it's just Larson is Larson. He made a mistake. Okay, it's gonna live with him the rest of his life when it comes to sponsorship deals. And the only person that can financially handle Kyle Larson is Rick Hendrick, and that's it. That's because he has other vendors under his name that can sponsor a Cup car.
Right. I agree with that. Well, you can go ahead, DC.
The day SHR was going downhill is just the day Ford said no to Larson. That was it.
Yeah, exactly. Ford,
honestly, though,
because if Ford would have said yes and would have been able to pay for his sponsorship, okay, because they pay for Chase Briscoe,
right. They could just throw Ford on the car, at least, you know.
They could have done that to Larson. They could have easily done that to Larson.
Yeah.
Yep.
They missed the opportunity. I think that in Stewart.
They said no, and I think Stewart is Tony going out here.
Yeah.
Go down.
No, I'm literally going to exactly where you're going. So
they say Tony out here sign all these NASCAR drivers to XRX, being like a big fuck you.
Yeah, because Ford just didn't want to listen. NASCAR didn't want to listen to Stewart. Like, it was a lot of people has made Stewart mad from this industry because of that he couldn't have Larson. It's just well, there's other reasons too, but like he wanted him. I
mean, you know, we've obviously seen the talent there, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like Stewart even knew more on a deeper level because he's seen this kid race a lot. You know,
Yeah.
he's physically seen many dirt races of Larson's, I'm sure, you know. So he sees and knows what that talent is. And like you said, it was a huge missed opportunity on Ford's part, you know. If they would have just listened, we could honestly see SHR probably be a championship team at this moment. You know, what if he came back and won that same championship that year he came back just for SHR?
I don't think he would have, honestly.
I mean, I agree. I don't think he would have,
I
but
think.
I think it would have still helped elevate the team having another
Oh yeah,
good driver on the team. You know,
he would
besides
have
just
at
Harvick
least
carrying
3
it.
wins.
I think Larson would be a lot more versatile if he went to SHR. I think he'd honestly be a better driver. Maybe his results wouldn't show that because he'd be on SHR and not Hendrick. I think he'd be a lot more versatile because Harvick would be able to mentor him and like you know how aggressive Larson is and how it feels like patient Harvick is. Like if he could get the middle ground on that, which still don't think he has gotten yet, he's gonna get there eventually. He's getting close, but he's still super aggressive. Sometimes he doesn't need to be, and Harvick could have helped him with that, and he could be a super dominant, even more dominant Cup driver than he is right now.
I mean, yeah, I agree, but at the same time, I think he still learns a lot of that with Chase and Byron and Bowman, for that matter. You know, I feel like all three of them are really calm and collective guys, and I feel like they all kind of honestly ground each other.
Yeah. And
Hendrick has
honestly,
a hell of a team,
and
you
they
know,
put
as a whole.
they put a lot of one thing that Larson doesn't do versus the other three. They put a lot of self responsibility when it comes to the vehicle, even if it's not their fault. Chase will literally say, "Yes, I sucked this weekend," even though he brought the car to 7th, right? Like I mean, it's just, but he will blame the whole. Like he'll literally say, you know, I guess I just didn't ask for the right adjustments. He will never blame Allen for nothing. He won't ever blame the engineers. Same with Byron. He literally did that. I don't know. This a couple weeks ago, he was like, "Yeah, I messed up on the restart," but he got shoved out of the way. It was like you know, like they take it and say, "Hey, it was me as the driver." And I think that's where Larson beforehand he would blame others. He would blame others for his circumstance and yeah, even the whole Ross situation a couple weeks ago, he literally said he took that same advice and he said, "Yeah, I shouldn't have put myself there. Like I should have just took third."
Right.
Are you saying Larson wasn't like that before?
No, he was not. No.
I kind of disagree on that because you look back at Chicago when it was he and Kyle racing, and he was like he didn't put the blame even on Kyle when it was like.
Well, no, because that was just fully racing though. That's not.
Yeah, that's just the
Well, I mean,
I'm
he got
talking about-
stumped. That's not fully racing, and I feel like Larson. I saw last.
Well,
year,
he got dumped.
There's a radio communication.
He only got dumped because he dumped him. Like,
Right.
Well, yeah,
Right.
yeah, I know, but it's not like he blamed it on anybody. And back at the Cook 600 last year, Larson was talking shit to himself. He's like, because he spun the car out first half of the race, he spun the car out, and he's blaming himself. He's like, God, I'm such a shitty driver. It's like I'm such a dumbass. Nobody else is but me. And then Cliff Daniels is there, picking him up, and obviously gives him the pep talk at halfway.
But I'm gonna say this: I don't think Larson is good without Cliff Daniels, and I mean that just because
I agree.
I think his talent is still there for sure, but his cars are not set up because of Larson, right? Larson doesn't even know how to turn a wrench on the car. So when it comes to the knowledge of the
they literally talked about that this weekend too.
It's just he just drives it, right? And I think Cliff Daniels, you put a B- driver with Cliff Daniels, he wins multiple races this season. Okay, I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. You put a next level driver with Cliff Daniels, he wins 10 races this season. Okay, and a championship. That's what happened.
So what does that make Chase?
So I think he's
Was Chase ever with Cliff?
I think what?
Chase wasn't ever with Cliff. Though.
No, he's just
being a dick.
Yeah.
Well, Chase is a shitty driver. He only gets like one win, you know.
No, I think if you put Chase Elliott with Cliff Daniels, scary. I'm serious.
You think better than Allen?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I think Allen's shit. Okay. I think Allen was good 5 years ago. I think now, I think he's just not he's not there mentally. in a lot of ways. I just think he makes stupid calls that are just.
I mean, I feel the same way about Rodney. Honestly, the past 2 years, his calls have been ass.
Yeah,
And,
I think it's just.
There's
age.
been multiple times
Yeah.
where it'll be like 8 laps left in the run. There's 12 cars on pit road, and it'll be like tires don't matter. You got the freshest tires. You can stay out and maybe hope for it. He's like, nah, I'll take 4, and then end up losing 10 more spots. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
I like the Blake Harris signing. I was skeptical at first, but I like it.
Blake Harris is good as well. I mean, he put Michael McDowell in a really good season last year. So
Won the damn Daytona 500.
So I mean, I think he's pretty. I think he's pretty good. I think all the crew chiefs that Hendrick has is great. I think Allen's good, and I think he's good. Yeah, but I think you put Chase with a different crew chief, I think it's a little bit better. I think some newness would help with that team.
So, going back to the crazy thought of SHR Jr. What do you think the odds are that if that happened, they just kept on pulling more people, like pulling Harvick for management type shit, pulling, I don't know, Jeff Burton? A lot more racer people to just come in.
The team would be great.
I agree. Yeah, I mean,
I think they'd be back to when they were one of the top 4 teams.
Right.
That'd
be crazy.
I thought so. In my opinion, 20. Okay, let's do 2014. I think that's a great comparison. I think it was still Hendrick. Okay, number 1. I think they've been number 1 for a little bit. I think it was SHR and then Joe Gibbs, and then Penske. Yeah. Okay,
I agree.
And then in 2018, it went to SHR, Joe Gibbs, Hendrick, Penske. And then now it's Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, Penske, RFK, SHR. I mean, that's just realistic.
Yeah, legitimately. As a whole. I mean, RFK definitely pumps out way better finishes than SHR as a whole.
Yeah.
And no
Honestly,
offense.
I could see Brad pulling off a sneaky win this weekend.
I almost went with Busher for my win.
I think RFK is close enough. I mean, both of them are going to make the playoffs this year.
I agree. Unless we happen to get a bunch of winners in the next 5, 6, 7 weeks, a bunch of single car winners might change some stuff, but I agree. I don't think we're getting much more winners.
No, I think the people that are going to win are around the cutoff anyways. So
I mean, I think the only other people that are going to win is Harrison Sunday, AJ, because he's going to bust out some road course wins, and Harvick. Harvick still got one more in him. So
he's a plus in the playoffs though. So I'm talking about negative.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah. A negative. I think the only person. Because I'm not counting Bowman as negative. As soon as after this week, he's going to be
yeah. He's going to be fine.
I think he gets a win before the playoffs.
And so does the Nine team. Even if they don't get a win, I think they make the playoffs just because I think they have enough.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely making the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's going to be consistent again. There's no reason he's not going to be.
Yeah, so. You know what's crazy? I think it'd be nuts. Without a win, the 9 makes the playoffs. I think that's just great. That's just absurd. It just shows how bad, 10th through 30th in points have been.
Can you imagine that
I mean, even Bowman, but he's trying to get their top 10s.
Yeah,
what if Chase or Bowman? Well, not because you can't have but Chase or Bowman. What if they win the championship, Matt Crafton style, and by taking a waiver from missing races? That'd be crazy.
That would be nuts.
That would be crazy.
Honestly, I would love to see it just to see if NASCAR would get rid of the system.
They'd be like, "Are you fucking kidding me, bro?"
Dude, we literally made this playoffs for wins only.
This guy missed fucking 8 races, broke his back. Didn't even win a damn race, and somehow he's
I
the
broke my
champion.
back.
Pulling Ryan Newman.
Yeah, Ryan Newman 2014.
Oh, dude,
Hey,
imagine if he
Ross
won it, bro.
Chastain's the
Close,
leader.
man.
A lapper wrecks him because, whatever.
I'd be dead.
No. Ross Chastain, Denny first and second. Denny wrecks Ross. Bowman wrecks Denny. Bowman wins.
Oh my god.
What if
That's a
it's like
great finale.
Chastain, Larson, Hamlin?
Bowman, Chase.
Bubble behind Larson.
I mean, just all of them up there. Like, there's no way Chastain can come out the champion.
No, there's no way he comes out a
There's no
champion
way.
in general. Like, okay, not like years to come. I'm
No,
talking about
yeah,
this year.
yeah, I know what you mean. But like this year, I think the only way possible is if like from literally now to the end, like he does not touch nobody.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
think-
only way.
He honestly shouldn't have made it last year, but everybody was too scared to do something to him.
I agree, and I think that was the issue. And the same thing with Hamlin. Well, I mean, the only thing that we've ever seen him do was what at Gateway, well, and Pocono, I
Yeah.
guess. But I don't know. Like, Hamlin talks a lot of shit about him, and he just doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, we know the man can hit now, so
Yeah.
maybe you don't want to hit him.
That watermelon punch, dude. It's strong.
Bro.
Noah will get him. Noah will get him if no one else does. Noah ain't afraid to.
Yeah, Noah's.
He needs to fight him out on the track next time.
Yeah, he needs to use
So
his
they
bumper
can get a
instead of his
punch in.
chest. Yeah.
I swear, if we ever get a freaking fight like John was telling me and Spencer Gallagher again,
That was dude. They were definitely fucking after the race.
that's
after that fight, bro.
the most wild fight I've ever seen in my life, bro. And the best part is that you see some of the you see some of like the track people just standing behind them just watching. Like they don't care at all. They're just like, hey bro, they're fighting, but I'm gonna keep hooking up the truck.
I know, dude. They're not even paying attention. They just think they're cuddling or something. They're just like, all right, load it up, guys.
Bro, the best part is when Spencer's like drops him down. Oh, I swear.
They were
That's
both
such
so
a-
tired after that.
Such a good fight.
No, I don't. It's more like a cuddle session, but sure.
But I mean, it's just a funny fight, I guess.
It was a great fight. That's,
No,
that's usually how I start off my weekends. The fights like that.
Watching John West Stanley.
Man, you know I liked Spencer Gallagher, and he won a race finally, and then got kicked out for doing drugs. I was like,
He's
dude,
partying too hard.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me, man? And he even said it too. He was like, we're gonna party like it's 1996 or some
He
shit.
literally did. He
And literally
snorted-
comes back and
snorted
he's like,
cocaine.
yeah, I did some drugs.
He literally snorted cocaine.
Who?
Spencer.
Spencer, when he won Talladega. Give me that cocaine.
I thought he was decent too. I know he was 100% daddy's money, clearly.
It was 100%
I mean,
jacked
you're driving
up.
for
What he
your
was.
dad's team, but I mean, I felt like he got decent results. Yeah, it was okay. I felt like he could have been a decent driver, but
I would never know.
I
He just
don't know.
had to party like it was 1990.
I mean, technically, he got reinstated. He did come back for like a handful of races, but that's all he's done.
Yeah. All right. Well, my computer's about to die, so I have to go.
Right,
Yeah, it's
well,
getting late.
we're gonna end this off here.
Y'all can keep talking, but I'm disappearing.
It was a great podcast. Thanks for tuning in and listening. I'm sure
Yep.
the last 30 minutes, no one's gonna watch that. It was us rambling, but it was fun
Yeah.
for sure. Don't
Definitely.
forget to tell your grandmas next week to join in.
Yeah, bring your grandma. We
And
need the
Mitch's mom
grandmas.
come back.
And miss
Yeah,
your mom.
yeah.
Mitch's
If you're
mom
still
come back.
watching, mom, come on back. We'll be here next Thursday.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. You never know. The world's wild out there, man.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Gallagher might want to party again. So.
You know, if Gallagher comes by, I mean,
Shit, I
Bro.
might not make it.
oh, I don't have the.
Let's give
I don't know where it's
Chastain
at.
some stuff
I'll have
with
to bust
Gallagher.
out, the autograph for him, but
Have his autograph. What the
Gallagher. I have Gallagher's autograph. And it's literally, bro,
Anyways.
let me just show you real quick. Let me just show you.
We're ending up there. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.
Wait.
End it.
Wait.
End it.
Well, no.
Nobody wants to see that drug addict's autograph.
Probably got white dust all over
Like-
it.
Like
You got it on a
what the,
notebook.
that's what the autograph is like. Literally just across Spencer and Gallagher.
Try to sell that.
That right there.
Nobody's gonna believe it's an autograph. It's on a
All
fucking
right.
notebook.
Anyways, peace out.
Well, no, I'm saying not this one, bro.
Oh.